On Monday morning, I woke up to this message in my Telegram app. Hi Susmita, it's been a year since our vegan business coaching session. Changes I made with the clarity from that call helped me a lot and no regrets regarding the changes at all. I just realized and I felt I had to share the same with you. Though the business is stable and going on a similar basis, the pressure in me released a lot after I made those changes. That message was from Vinay, who a year ago, as the message says, took a vegan coaching session with me, a 1 hour coaching call. And it was so sweet that a year later, exactly a year later, he remembered, first of all, that we had a coaching call on that day. And then he's messaged me to share his journey through the entire year. The thing is, when I do business coaching sessions, of course, I love to hear from the people who I've spoken to, even if I've worked with them once or even if they're regular clients. I love to hear back from them to know how they're doing, how the business is doing. And most of the time, of course, I'm happy when I see that they've made some changes in the business, maybe with the marketing, some practical changes. But this message from Vinay was, I think, the most precious one I've ever received. Because it's not about the changes made on the outside, it's not about the business dramatically changing into something else, but about the way he feels about the business, about the joy he's finding in running the business now instead of feeling pressure and anxiety. That is a huge deal to me. That's a thing. When we work on ourselves and when we incorporate well-being practices, when we make an effort to put ourselves first at the center of our lives before our work or business or creative projects or relationships or anything else, when we put ourselves at the center, make changes to ensure that things are easy for us, make life easier for ourselves, smoother, find more joy and fulfillment. Make that a daily intention and work towards that. When we do that, then, well, often situations on the outside might change, but the best part is that even if they don't change at all, it doesn't even matter, because the way you feel about them, the way you respond to them, the way you feel about your life in general, that becomes better. That shifts for the higher good, for your highest good. It's always about the inside. I've spoken about this so often on the podcast. Oh, by the way, if this is your first time here, you're listening to the Feel Good Factor. I'm Susmita Veganosaurus. This podcast is about joy, fulfillment, and well-being in business, work, life, creativity, all aspects of life. How to prioritize joy, fulfillment, and well-being. Anyway, Vinay runs a small vegan cafe called The Digital Chef here in Bangalore. It's at HSR Layout. You should check it out. It's a cute little place. Very nice energy. From the art on the wall, like the wall paintings, to the smiles that you receive when you walk in there. Overall, the energy is really nice. If you are generally a person who practices anything, and have any spiritual kinds of practices like meditation and stuff like that, you will also perceive that energy there, that high, uplifting, joyful, high vibe energy. It's a very simple little cafe, but you can feel that energy there. And of course, it's a patisserie and a cafe, so many delicious vegan cakes and stuff like that. You'll be able to get cakes and shakes. My favorites are the chocolate truffle cake, and they have a really delicious rose milk. So both those are my favorite there. But yeah, there's so much there. Anyway, so what had happened was, Vinay was running his business. um, he is a solopreneur. He has some help, some assistance, but mainly he's a solopreneur and he works on his own. He doesn't have a partner to, take on the burden, share the burden with him and stuff like that. And he doesn't, at least last year when we had our call, he didn't have any staff members as such. He had some support from his family, but apart from that, most of it he was taking on his own shoulders. And he was working 7 days a week, long hours, no breaks. It was really getting to him. So, through our conversation, we worked on mindset shifts. We worked on how he needed to prioritize his own peace of mind and well being. We spoke about a lot of that, worked through all of it. And then he made some simple shifts and changes in the way he ran his business. Nothing dramatic, just simple ones. But to reach those simple shifts and changes, we had to talk through a lot to break certain mental blocks that most of us carry, where basically we prioritize external stuff above our own well being. That's it. So all he did was work on that. And just by working on that, just by making those couple of simple changes, now, well, you heard him, in his what he said. He said the business is the same, it's running in a stable way, but I feel no pressure. That's kind of amazing, isn't it? Sometimes these powerful shifts are not very dramatic. When we do this, we need to look back on our lives and track this. Just track how you feel. And that comes down to this again, like the inside out approach. Instead of trying to change things outside for the sake of changing things on the outside, it's first look at yourself, prioritize your well-being, peace of mind, joy, fulfillment, and then make small changes. It doesn't have to be big changes, and it makes a world of difference, because when we feel really good within our own hearts, then the situation on the outside, it doesn't even matter. What's going on doesn't matter so much. Sometimes if we feel upset or hurt, or in relationships, work, in any area of life, right? Sometimes if things feel bad, we are able to bounce back from it a lot quicker, because we have prioritized our own ease, peace of mind, joy, fulfillment, and of course, working for the highest good of all. I feel like, especially if people run a conscious business like this one, like Vinay's vegan business, where there is no harm being created to people. Like, he's being very conscious about not using animal products. In many ways, he is concerned about the well-being of his customers, well-being of the planet, ethically for the animals, a lot of things, right? So it's bigger than, so when your business, your work, whatever project you do is working towards the highest good of all, if it's a purpose-filled, purpose-driven business, and not so much an ego-driven one, then more so, these simple shifts and changes help you even more. Like, I feel like the impact is so much better, because it doesn't have to cut through any kind of bad energy you might be creating in the world, right? So if you're a conscious entrepreneur, I especially, food business is very difficult, but I do know it's not just food. If you're building a brand for the higher good, say you have, a social media account that you built on promoting messages about how to live a sustainable life, or if you are an artist and you're creating, beauty in this world, but you stick to certain principles and you won't work with certain materials, you'll only work with others. As long as you're sticking to your principles, ethics, for doing something which inevitably helps the world in general, if you're doing that, life can seem very difficult at times. You can feel even lonely at times, because it's, it seems hard, right? But make sure that, or know that things will work out for the highest good. And when I say things work out, I don't even mean that, the project or the relationship or anything that will last forever. That's not what I mean. I mean, I myself have had the experience of running a restaurant for 7 years and then shutting it down. So I do know, what it is, what it feels like to move out of something. But when you prioritize your well-being and you're doing work for the higher good, then you're guided through every step of the way, including, if need be, including the step of letting go, or the step of transformation from one to another, or to keep going as you are going. It You are supported in every possible way. All you need to do is show the universe that you prioritize your own well-being, joy, fulfillment, contentment, peace of mind. Show the universe repeatedly that that is of most importance to you. That is a high priority on your list. And then watch how the universe supports you to continue to feel that way. Sometimes and often magically shifting things on the outside also, changing the circumstances on the outside also, but most importantly helping you to continue feeling those good, uplifting, content feelings throughout. So in your life, if you feel like you're stuck in some kind of a situation which may be difficult or frustrating, you're feeling lonely, ask yourself, these questions. One is, how can I make this more easy for myself? Am I making this easy for myself, or am I unnecessarily making it difficult for myself? You'll be surprised at the answer, because most of the time we are, without even realizing it, we make things unnecessarily hard for ourselves. So one is, how can I make this easier for myself? Two, am I doing something good in the world by doing this? Am I doing it for a larger purpose than my own self? Does this business make an important positive difference in people's life, even in the smallest of ways to the biggest ones? So ask yourself these two questions, and then set that set that intention to shift things from the inside, so that then the outside becomes even more beautiful. All right, that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Susmita Veganosaurus. If you enjoyed this podcast, then you're going to enjoy my free newsletter, The Feel Good Tribe. Go to veganosaurus.com/newsletter and sign up. I'd love to see you inside the tribe. Talk to you again next week. Take care. Bye.